Simplified Options Uganda, together with the Human Resource Service Center, present How to Write a Personal History, compiled by Ivan Ngono, read by Eddie Chigozi. Writing your personal history is something that you may do either as part of an application or as a literary endeavor. In a personal statement for an application, you will need to provide information about history that proves you have the knowledge and experience necessary to perform certain tasks. A personal history written for your own enjoyment or for publication will relate your life story, requiring some research and a much larger time commitment. With some preparation and a little time management, you'll be able to write a strong personal history that will impress an application committee or entertain readers. Writing a personal statement for an application. Number 1, determine the audience. Depending on what you are applying for, the information you include in your personal statement will differ, often significantly. In order to ensure that you address pertinent subjects, you will want to know who you are writing for. You should consider whether your application will be read by a medical or law school review board or a graduate committee. Is it an application for a scholarship or an internship? Reflecting on your audience will help you determine what life stories to highlight. For example, if you are applying to get into medical school and a graduate program in English somewhere else, you will want to avoid spending a lot of time highlighting your extensive medical knowledge in the English application or your remarkable writing skills in the medical school application. Although a review committee might be impressed that you have such diverse interests, they also want to make sure that you have the requisite knowledge to be in the program. Number 2, follow the guidelines. Generally, an application will give you guidelines to follow when writing your personal history. These tend to include things like page length and font size. However, they can also include specific questions that the review committee wants answered. If you are asked specific questions, be sure to fully answer them. It is important that the committee sees that you are capable of following directions. However, this does not mean that your statement should be formulaic or bland. Follow the guidelines, but give your readers something exciting or memorable to take away from your letter. In general, medical and law schools ask for a more open-ended personal statement. On the other hand, business and graduate schools tend to ask specific questions. However, each application is different and has its own guidelines, so be sure to follow those. Number 3, develop a theme. Think about the overall story that you are trying to tell the people who will read your application. What impression of you do you want them to take away from it? If you want them to think that you are intelligent and capable, discuss moments in your life that demonstrate your intelligence and capability. Determine what you are trying to convey and stick with it throughout the essay. Avoid going off on tangents. Consider whether or not a certain topic fits in your overall theme. If it does not, do not include it. Number 4, write a strong introduction. Depending on what you are applying for, a review committee may receive hundreds of applications a year. You will want your application to stand out, and the best way to do that is by writing a compelling introduction. The initial paragraph should grab your reader's attention and hold it. One method might be drawing the reader in with an interesting tidbit about yourself that relates to what you are applying for. Find what works for you and feels appropriate for the application. Briefly introduce yourself and then provide the framework that the rest of the essay will follow. Allude to things you will discuss later but do not give it all away. Avoid cliches like this one. My name is Steve and I am applying to join your program. Or this other one. Allow me to introduce myself. Have you ever wondered why your CV keeps getting rejected or why your phone never rings for an interview call? Do you always blame it on the job market or the high number of candidates applying for jobs or the scarcity of the right opportunities? Have you ever considered that the problem could be your CV? You know, your CV is the gateway to an interview. Professional CV Writers Incorporated are committed to help you understand the flaws in your current CV and to realize the hazardous errors you may be committing. Errors which are stopping your CV from being selected and which are keeping you from being called for interviews. They provide CV evaluation services at a very reasonable cost. Try it out now. Send your CV for a comprehensive evaluation by email to nkonoivan@gmail.com. You can also contact Ivan on WhatsApp number +256 772 481 995. And now, let's return to writing a personal statement for an application. Number 5. Highlight relevant information. The middle section of the essay is where you detail your interests and experience in the field. Discuss your educational background and any pertinent classes you took. List any practical experience that you have, such as internships, conference attendance, or previous employment. These things tell the reviewers that you have the knowledge and the experience necessary to succeed in the field. For example, if you are applying to medical school, list any experience you have volunteering in a clinic or specific pre-med courses that you found particularly interesting. If you are applying for graduate school, be sure to discuss any relevant scholars you like or books you find particularly interesting. Number 6. Give a strong conclusion. Once you have highlighted all of your important education and experience, wrap up the essay with a strong yet concise conclusion. Tell the readers how all the events listed in your essay have collectively impacted you and shaped you into a strong candidate for what you are applying for. Again here, avoid cliches like this one. Thank you for taking the time to consider my application. Or this one. It is my sincere hope that you will grant me the opportunity to attend your school. Number 7. Proofread. Before you send your materials, be sure to give them a final read. Check for any spelling errors or typos. Make sure that you fully answer the questions asked and meet all of the guidelines. A personal statement full of errors will make it appear as if you do not care and are unprofessional. You can also ask someone else to proofread your essay for you. It is often hard for most people to adequately proofread their own writing, so finding someone to read your statement will most likely make it better. The Human Resource Service Center is an international HR consulting firm that offers human resource and business support services to a range of organizations, both within and outside Uganda. If you want to improve your internal HR processes and systems, if you want to outsource human resource services, contact the Human Resource Service Center by phone, by WhatsApp, or by Telegram. The number is +256 772 481 995.